Recording in progress. So, welcome back, guys, to the Alchemy Experience podcast with our Legacy Leaders series. So, Des and I are back at you with one of our founding members of our Legacy Leaders, and we're so blessed and grateful to just be in the space. We were talking about the space of high-level women, and Tiffany is definitely one of them. So, I'm going to let Des take it away and introduce Tiffany, and then we'll pitch it to her. But you have known Tiffany for quite some time and
Yes.
introduced her to me, which I'm so excited about to be in her world and get to know her even on a deeper level. But tell us more.
Oh, it's amazing. So just real quick, Tiffany was a local teacher in this community that I live in. The community itself, it's a small town community. The little small towns, no towns, right? But in small towns, there's big impact. Big impact means that there's leaders here in these small communities that are often missed, that make huge impact in the lives of many young ladies. Tiffany Laprade is one of those. She was a teacher in a school that I could literally take my kids to for a walk, which was amazing. Both my kids have had Tiffany as a teacher. And I remember when I met Tiffany because I'm also a teacher. And so I walked in and I don't lead with that I'm a teacher. I just like to lead with like trying to check out how, the environment's going to be in my kids' space because the teacher has a lot to do as far as influence, right? And I remember, and I don't know if Tiffany's even going to remember this, but Tiffany was taking on a huge project and she stood out to me immediately because she was working on a study at the time that she did it on herself. And she did the whole thing on her own, funneled it all on her own, funded it all on her own. And it was about the seating in the classrooms for the first time, changing it into something completely different than any other teachers were doing. And she was very excited about it. She had all different kinds of seating in the classroom and was bringing up statistics about how kids have a hard time staying focused and things like that. So immediately I was very, very intrigued by her leadership. And she had no idea who I was at the time. And I had no idea who she was at the time. Jesse and I didn't even own the company at the time, to be honest. So both my kids have gone through Tiffany's classroom and Tiffany's leadership, and both my kids came out still talking about Tiffany. And now Tiffany is transitioned to a different level of leadership now, which I already knew she would. And I'll let her talk about that. But my daughter is in her first year of college now, still talking about Tiffany LeBrad. And then my youngest, Mariah, is a junior now, still talking about Tiffany LaPrade. So listen, that is impact. That's leaving behind impact in generations, which is exactly what Legacy Leaders is all about. We're about getting in proximity with leaders in the community like this who are just wanting to do that authentically and the way that Tiffany is able to do that. And then to have that impact on such young youth is such a big deal, especially for me personally, because it's my two kids. So Tiff, I have seen you literally watch from afar for a little bit with me for a little while and my husband's company, but then I've seen you also moving into leaderships in a whole different way too. So I'm just going to throw it back to you and let you tell a little about how your legacy vision looks like and kind of watching from afar and like how your vision looks like moving forward and your leadership and how it's changed a little bit through the years and what legacy leadership looks like for you.
Yeah, thanks. And I appreciate that. And I do definitely remember those times in the classroom. So, yeah, just a little background about myself. As Desiree shared, I was a teacher at a local school for well over 10 years. And I started really just in the classroom working with students. And I could really see and feel that impact that I was building with students. And eventually it led to a place of me doing some coaching work with teachers. And now I work more broadly across the US for a nonprofit, and I coach building leaders and superintendents on how to bring high quality math practices into the classrooms for students. So just that same impact I was having in classrooms, but a little bit on a larger scale now, working with not just students now, but also principals and superintendents. So it's a lot of fun. And when I think about legacy, I hope that people would say that I help them see themselves as leaders, even sometimes maybe before they recognize it in themselves. And I really want my legacy to be, that I didn't just give answers, but I could help ask better questions and help people slow down and reflect and really lead with intention instead of urgency. And I think this is something I definitely did in the classroom with my students and something that I'm continuing to do just in different capacities in my own space these days.
I love that so much. So isn't she such a vibe like in this space because she's literally now taken it to from the students all the way up until the leaders of these big, huge community systems, right? Superintendents, principals. So you're leading the leaders, which is a whole evolution of leadership, which is amazing because I mean, can we all agree that our leaders need some leadership and some guidance to be able to be, organic and authentic in that space right now? Right. So I feel like as leaders, it's just important for this kind of your role coming in to have them have that space, right? So this is exactly what Legacy Leaders is here, is we're creating that same space for women and that same platform for women, just like me and you and Aaron, to be able to have that space as the leaders of whatever it is that you're leading. If it's in family, if it's in business, if it's in, your own private sector and all these things, we're creating that space for us to have the community,
Mhm.
for us to be able to come together and to pour into each other and to be able to have that proximity of, okay, so here we are as women leading so many different things. Where's the community for us?
Mhm.
Where can we go to get poured into? Because as we all know, when you're a leader, you're pouring a lot into other people frequently, but then we're missing that component of having people pouring into us as well, while also showing to share your expertise in your leadership. Right. So that's what Legacy Leaders is exactly that space. Aaron, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Tiffany, did you have something else to add?
No, it was just what you were saying, Desert, is just really resonating with me when I think about this group specifically and like what really resonated with me about it. I just think it, to your point, like really names that kind of leadership that I deeply believe in, but we don't always like see centered, right? Like, so yeah, I just appreciate that you said that and really feeling very similar about the group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think and you know this, but in just sort of wrapping that together, Desiree and I really wanted to um, get women together in the same room that were doing high level things. People like you, like Des, like me, other women in this group, other women that we just know in the community. And so we started off by just saying, hey, let's just get together at like a networking event, right? Where it's like different than just speed dating, like for professionals. It's like, let's sit. Like, I love the term Desiree says, let's break bread together. Let's like sit there and like just have a meal, have a snack, have a drink, and just like talk about the real shit that we go through as leaders in our community, right? Like the hard stuff. It's not always rainbows and butterflies. And then there's days where it's like, holy crap, I just had 10 people call me and they want me to speak at this thing and they want me to do this, right? Like we have these days that are like, how is this happening? And then there's fear in that, right? And then there's days where it's like nothing's happening and there's fear in that. And so being able to come and sit and talk and refer each other, every networking event we have, the girls, we all connect and then we're like, hey, I know somebody. And then offline, we're able to refer each other to people. Like it's been such a beautiful thing to see. And what we found is that because we own our own businesses and we're moms and we're busy women, we were only able to really do this every couple months, right? Because it's like it's a lot. We've got to make sure that we've got it set up, we've got a good place, we've got to, everything aligned of what we want to talk about and have connection. But we're missing each other in between. It's like every few months we have this event, but what are we doing in between? And I talk a lot about this with my clients and the folks I work with is like we want to have bookends where we like can create magic on both ends so that the magic can then continue to swirl. But it's like we still need a touching point. So bringing into this Legacy Leaders exclusive membership was the next level. It just was the organic next step of inviting women like you into it that are like, I don't want to just check in every few months. It's beautiful to do that, but I also want more. I want to grow. I want to grow with these women. I want to learn from them. I have something to contribute, right? We each have something to contribute. So within our group, we're going to have you come in and do like a training. All the other women in our exclusive membership will do like their own little mini training just because we need each other. We're all different. We all have beautiful backgrounds that can support each other. And so I'm so grateful that we took the nudge from the universe to do this and that there's women like you that see the value in it and that want to help us grow too. So thank you for, taking that step and being in it with us and, maybe talk a little bit more about where you see yourself being able to give back or provide back into this group. What can you offer more? Your organic specialty, your magic.
Yeah. Um, yeah, like I said, I just think for me, I think something first of all, I just appreciate having the opportunity to be in this space for all those reasons that you just named, Erin. Like it does feel really special and really powerful. And I think for me, like I know that I can bring to this space just through by virtue of being a teacher for so many years, just being able to bring into this space this idea of making people feel supported and listened to and encouraged to be themselves. Um, I show up consistently for the people in the groups that I'm in and with honesty and care and really like to make people feel safe. I think that definitely showed up in my classroom as a teacher, and I think it shows up in other spaces that I hold too. As I think of my legacy as not just a teacher, but as a mother and a colleague and a daughter and a friend, right? And I really want to show up in all those spaces in those exact same ways because I just think that's really important to make sure that I want my legacy to be more than just a title or visibility, really, but really about like the impact that I'm leaving on others that really like outlives that particular moment and the people who interacted in that. So I feel like this is a great space to do that. I feel like I can bring it into this group and offer that. And I know that there's so much that this group is going to offer me too to help me continue to learn and grow in those areas.
Woohoo! Right, right. Talk about alignment, right?
Yeah.
So I've seen a shift live with Tiffany. So Tiffany she saw my daughter write a book. She immediately said, "How can I buy one?" So then we took a picture together of her buying Mariah's book as her teacher from way back in the day. So then she immediately she put herself in the space where she can, support it, right? And then from there, we got on a call and then she goes, "Yeah, Des, this is amazing. I would love to be a part of it." And then she dropped that she also runs another piece of her company. So I just want to talk a little bit about the travel agent that she did drop. Tiff, I want to give you a minute just to talk about that shift too as well, of where you're trying to expand that ecosystem of where you are able to provide these services for people and your company. So talk a little bit about your travel agency.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate that piece. As I mentioned earlier, I'm more of like a traveling coach now where I travel all across the world and support different principals and superintendents with their leadership in mathematics. And I think through that position, I just grew a love of travel myself. I feel like it's when I really started to find myself a little bit more in like my own leadership and my own legacy pieces. And I really started thinking about some of those things. Just the power and like being out places and traveling on my own and seeing different things. It was very empowering for me. And it prompted me to start my own travel agency, my own business. So it's just amazing to be able to travel different places and meet people that are different and have new experiences and have everything that I'm seeing and experiencing continue to drive my legacy and my practices when I'm working in schools and more formal leadership settings. So yeah, I have a love of travel, specifically cruises, but I love international travel too. Do a lot of traveling to Italy and overseas, and definitely just find a lot of passion and excitement, and just a lot of fun in helping other people plan their vacations and make all those dreams come true. It's been very rewarding.
So let's talk about alignment again, real quick. So part of the company for Jesse and I, we go to Italy every single year. So we have a legacy retreat every single year. We're going this June. Erin's coming and her family. And so, we are kind of on the same page here as far as this goes. But I love that she said that because she's right. We hold many roles. But what's really great about legacy is that we get to have the beauty of creation. we get to say, you know what? How do I want this life to go? What do I want to do with my kids? How do I want my family to look? How do I want to step up in this space and hold space for all of these roles that we play? And I love that she said that through that she created a different life, saying, hey, I already am traveling so much. I've come to learn that I really love this. So, how do I create this to make it part of my legacy to expand for my family's goals, my personal goals, my business development, and those things? And you see how she created all these things to make that now a part of her ecosystem. And that's the beauty of creation. That's the beauty of community. And that's the community proximity where right here you're talking to someone who hosts retreats every year in Italy, right? So it's just like it's just like that. That's how this happens. And it's just amazing that one, that we're able to be in proximity with one another, right? Because this is where like the real growth happens and that magic that Erin was talking about. But just having women in our space in our life where we can have these dreams together and we can help each other get there, and I can tell you about how the mistakes I made,
Mhm.
because maybe you want to start hosting retreats in Italy every year, like who knows, right? So this is where community and proximity really matters in legacy, is that it's great to dream and it's great to create, but it's even better and it's faster and it's more movement like when you're around other people who have already done it.
Mhm.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Or have
Yeah.
done it in various
Favorite
ways,
subject.
right? Yeah. Like I think it, traveling always expands me, even if it's a day trip, right? I've shared this before, but a couple years ago, I intentionally went somewhere every month for the entire year to try to really like experiment with this idea of expansion. And that was probably like last year brought some beautiful things, but 2024 was really this wildly expansive year for me. And it was jumping into Warrior Women. It was meeting Des in a whole new level, getting to know Jesse more. There was like a lot that happened in 24 that launched into 25, right? Which was crazy, that then has just snowballed. But I knew going into 2024 that how important traveling is, even if it's just to the next town over to meet new people. But traveling the world was something I did in 2024. Every month I went somewhere new. I went to 5 different countries, 6 different countries, actually, all the things, whatever, right? And so I'm like, man, I just expanded the capacity to hold more for myself and for other people, not from a place of like, I got to take on other people's stuff, but from a place of just showing up. And so it led to these rooms like this to be able to have these cool conversations and meet other people that's what's important to them too. And so it's that alignment, which is so cool. And I'm excited to see who knows where we're going to go with all of this legacy leadership and across the world we can take it anywhere, right? And now we have travel agents in the room that know how to do this for us.
Because I
Two of
want
them.
to.
Two of them where I can just be like, here, do this for me because you're good at it. That's your zone of genius, You're in the God zone when you're doing that kind of work. So I love it. It's amazing. So amazing.
I mean, look at though, like seriously, the alignment though, just right here. Just with the cruising and then with the Italy and then the leadership and
Mhm.
then the teaching, right? Erin's a social worker by trade. And you and I are previous teachers. You're still teaching. We're all still teaching and coaching and all the things. We're still teaching just in a different way, right?
Yeah.
But look at this. Look at already like what could be.
Mhm.
And that is what the beauty of these kinds of spaces are, is thinking and dreaming and seeing and saying, you know what could be from this, right? And I can tell you it's not stepping backwards. How many rooms do you get in that you're like, wow, I don't know if I should be here, or I don't know if this is for me, or if I don't know if this is right. I've been in plenty of rooms where I'm like, I don't feel like I fit in,
Mhm. Yeah.
or I feel like this is going to bring me backwards
Mhm.
versus forward, right? I don't know about you guys, but as far as my legacy goes, that's the kind of rooms I want to get into, is those ones that are bringing us forward.
Agreed. It's the types of rooms we're in right now, right? Like even though we're virtual, like you can, it's a whole vibe. Like you can feel it, right? And agree. Like those are the types of rooms that I want to be into. And I know that's the type of room I'm going to be in here.
Yeah. So
Yes.
exciting. So exciting. I can't wait for what's to come. So we have calls coming up, we have events coming up, and Tiffany's going to be a part of those. She's going to be partly running some of that, like giving us her zone of genius. And so, Tiffany, for those that might be looking to book a trip, or for those that might be just wanting to get in your space and your education piece and seeing what you do, traveling to educate, maybe they're an educator and they've been teaching for 20 years and they want to pivot and do similar work that you're doing. How can they get a hold of you? How can they find you? Where do you hang out in the social space?
Social space, most often I'm on Facebook, which I know Desiree said you're going to tag me in this, right? So it'll probably be linked
Absolutely.
right to my book, and that would probably be the best place to, yeah, get a hold of me for sure. Definitely don't hesitate to reach out. I welcome it.
Perfect. So those that are listening, whether now or, months from now, find Tiff over on the Facebooks and she'll the book face and she'll get you, linked up with whatever you need, but also just tap into her space. Like we're friends now on social media. I follow you. I know you're doing cool stuff. And so just to have a new friend, a new connection, and who knows what will come of it. I've known Desiree for quite some time, but we just really in the last couple of years got like this bond, and so it's interesting how the world sort of gets you to the right people when it's the right time. And so this is
Um,
great.
so let's talk
Amazing.
about the next event because Tiffany is local and there's going to be some local girls that are going to watch this, right? So let's talk about the next event. We had to pivot because there was a wicked storm. Anybody know about that storm that just came through in upstate New York?
I was
So we had to
shoveling my driveway 17 times.
it was like 24 inches in like six minutes, I feel like.
Yeah.
So because we had a huge storm happen exactly when we were doing our last networking event, we canceled and we're going to pivot and now we have rescheduled. So the next networking event is going to be in the same space, same place, same time, but it's going to be in February and it's going to be Saturday the 21st. 6 to 8. It's at Champs. So we want to share that information and let anybody know who is local that this is a networking event. We're going to be having things on Facebook coming out. If you know anybody that could really use this kind of community, please let us know. If you're interested in anything legacy leaders at all, with the podcast or the community or the membership or the networking events, please contact Erin or I for further information. We would love to learn about your legacy and have you be a part of this proximity. So thank you so much, Tiffany, for your time and for your service. And girl, I can tell you already, just with my kids, your legacy has already been passed down. It made a huge impact in their lives immediately. And it still does because then she just recently showed up for them again, which is exactly the kind of women that I want to be in proximity with. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for believing in this and for believing in us. And I hope that you're able to come through to one of the local events. I know you're going to be traveling again here in the second half of February as well. But in the meantime, we're always here.
Mhm.
You know, use the group for support, and we can't wait to learn more and grow more.
Yeah, love that so much. And yep, thank you both for having me.
Yeah, before we wrap up, I just like to ask everybody who we have on, just if there's a nugget, a word, a saying of information that you want to really hit home for people today, what would that be?
Oops, sorry, you cut
Oh,
out or
did I
just
cut
the
out?
last. Yeah.
Can you hear me? So what if there was like a saying or a word or just a mic drop nugget of information, what would you want to leave people with today?
I guess that legacy to me isn't about being remembered, it's about being repeated. So what people take from what they've learned from you and what they pass on and what they do after the interaction.
Oh, beautifully said.
Yes.
So good. Well, thank you, Tiffany. This has been a pleasure to have you on. Please go give Tiffany a follow and be in her space, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye
Bye.
for now.